flat Earth is like a pond. A pond is where water accumulates, not at the top of a hill, but in the valley. Water accumulates in the low spot in the land, and the large bodies of water at rest lay flat, provably, testably, measurably flat. And the container for that water is the higher land that surrounds it. The higher land that surrounds it. All of the continents are surrounded by water, but all of the water is surrounded by Antarctica. Antarctica is not a island at the bottom of a ball. It is the land that surrounds the world ocean. We live in the Antarctic basin. Okay? Pretty simple.
Tell me you don't understand gravity without telling me you don't understand gravity. The fact that you think water should fall off the bottom of the earth if you think that gravity is real, then that tells me all about your level of understanding.
Someone at NASA told Neil, "We're not going to let you go head to head with Eric Dubé because he'll make you look foolish." Prove me wrong.
Continuing with the theme of requiring precisely zero science to show that Flat Earth is the dumbest hoax on the entire internet, one thing that anyone can do to prove that the Earth is a sphere is to look at commercial airline flights.
Like, you guys are making flat earthers. I hope you know that. I keep saying that every week. Science is making flat earthers. Globe Earth believers and proponents who lie and obfuscate and pretend there's nothing here are making flat earthers.
Hello everybody, hope you're doing well and thanks for joining us for another video. Now, rather unsurprisingly, my videos receive a lot of comments these days from flat earthers.
So 9 years ago today, in 2015, I created the very first Flat Earth Clues part one. Well, actually it was the introduction to it, just called Flat Earth Clues Introduction. And which was 12 minutes and 36 seconds long.
Does the Bible say the earth is flat? The answer is absolutely not. Not a single verse in any English translation says the earth is flat.
Now, how is the earth causing the shadow on the moon if the sun is still up above the horizon with the moon?
But he probably just means travel in general, because whether flat earthers care to admit it or not, that thing that a lot of people now use to travel, GPS, well, the G stands for global, and it works really well.
How is it in 1961 they're writing computer programs based on a flat, non-rotating Earth?
Well, it is an excellent example of Coriolis forces being imparted onto a moving object and matching the predictions of globe Earth.
It would have been too soon to just recognise the fallacy of reification, rather than recognising how the calculators actually deceived people. It was quite magical to see how they'd done it. It was, you're suddenly impressed by the magic trick that they've used to pull the wool over your eyes and convince you that the effective perspective is actually an Earth curve that you don't have. Amazing.
I'm going to show you some footage taken on a recent flight between Sydney, Australia and the United States. We were crossing the Pacific at 47,000 feet and we observed a sunrise. And what makes this sunrise devastating to flat Earth is that when we first see the sun, it is clearly several degrees below horizontal.
And I can give you the best globe arguments ever. I don't have to straw man it. I don't have to misrepresent it. I can give you an incredible still man of the globe. Then I can take the glasses off and tell you why it's wrong.
We watched as an EQ mount was able to track a celestial object perfectly, giving us the stacked image by rotating only one axis. Now, would this be possible on a flat Earth? Absolutely not.
Flat Earth came along at the right moment to educate people, to make people believe or understand that we've been lied to. And if you know, as I know in my heart now, that that is real and this isn't, I will not be fooled by aliens coming, because there are no aliens.
The earth isn't flat, and I have one of the simplest observations to prove it to you. It's right here. These three sunsets from the northern hemisphere, the equator, and the southern hemisphere are all you need.
They can't just come out and say there's a firmament, so we're on a flat earth or whatever else. They can't just come out and say it. They have to show breadcrumbs. They got to show a trail of breadcrumbs. They have to boil the frog slowly.
So yesterday I made a video explaining how star trails only work on a globe. In the northern hemisphere, if you look towards Polaris, the stars will appear to go counterclockwise around it. And in the southern hemisphere, they appear to go clockwise around Sigma Octantis.
And if someone is not actually pursuing truth, it doesn't matter how much evidence you show them, they're going to be stuck in their artificial perception of reality.
Flat Earth and globe Earth are not equal competing theories. There is ample evidence for a globe Earth. There is none for a flat Earth.
First of all, if you know how a sextant works, it can only work of having a horizontal baseline. If you also notice that they use the horizon to set this horizontal.
Hi, welcome to Mr. Sensible's Flat Earth album. I've been debunking Flat Earth and other conspiracy crap on the internet, on YouTube, for just over 4 years.
I still think that the Flat Earth needs to be founded on observations, testing, the grassroots movement. That keeps it so that Flat Earth doesn't just become another religion that can be controlled. It's by the grassroots movement that's free, that even you could go out and come up with a new experiment or something.
Yes, you got that right. We're going to be talking a bit about gravity on the flat Earth and how it works, whatever that is. Of course, in real life, gravity as we experience it is due to the mass of the Earth, which attracts things to the center of it.
All these pictures of Earth from space, they're all CGI composites, and NASA admits it. They go, oh, you know what? We take the images and we take this information strips, and then we get an artist to put together. I'm like, wait a minute.
But hold on. Surely they must have some proof that the Earth is flat, right? They must have done some experiments. Oh, they have. And let me just say, they are definitely something.
I'm going to offer $10,000 to anyone who can produce a real/true photograph of the Earth.
These hyperliteral readings of biblical verses are insane. For one, we know the Earth is round, and we've known that for thousands of years. Two, this is special pleading. You're not going to take hyperliteral readings of other verses.
You saying that the horizon is a physical location and not apparent is so obvious, and the flat earthers are going to clip it up and share it with the world to show your incredulity of understanding why the horizon is where it's at.
So tell me, Neil, is the Earth flat?
We have video from space of the rotating spherical Earth. The Earth is round.
Thank you for joining us on this episode.
Right. I am now awake and aware of the fact that the claim that was put to me all through my life, that the Earth was a globe, I have found no evidence or proof of that. Studying natural physics and understanding the ways of the world that we're living in, it cannot be a ball, and it never will be a ball.
I care sincerely about people, though, about believers who I think are being led astray by some of the bad Bible study practices that I see inside the flat Earth stuff. So it's a big concern of mine. Well, I love you, my brothers and sisters, my flat Earth friends.
Biblical cosmology means that there's a circle of Earth enclosed by a firmament, and that was the most general and basic design structure that the Father created for all of mankind to live in.
Anyway, now we are going to go higher and enter a much more exclusive altitude. We're headed up to about 30 kilometers or about 100,000 feet. That's the kind of altitude you'd get from an experimental weather balloon or a high altitude spy plane like the U-2.
Hi, welcome to Hanging on His Words. My name's Ken Heidebrecht, and I've noticed a trend over the past few years that seems to be gaining a lot of inertia. What trend? Questioning our heliocentric globe Earth cosmology and scrutinizing its validity.
Welcome to Tales from the Rabbit Hole. I'm your host, Mick West. My guest today is a flat earther, someone who actually believes that the Earth is flat, or at least believes that the Earth is not a spinning ball in space. Someone who has a lot of questions about the very nature of our reality.
But strangely enough, there is left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being.
Citation needed. And trust me, I did the legwork. The only source I could find that was not obviously just a screen grab or a repost was from this random Twitter account. And they don't give any information. As far as I can tell, there's no evidence this is even in Antarctica, and flat earthers have just latched onto it without fact-checking.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye, they just laugh and mock us, but we're just saying, let's have a debate then. If it's so silly and you wanted to shut it down and it's not scientific, well, come to the table.
Facepalm protection will be required for this one. So today we are looking at a flat earther that thinks that he's managed to prove that the famous Earthrise photo taken by Apollo 8 is fake.
You know, one of the things that I find odd about this society that we live in is how willing and aggressively people will ridicule those of us who do not place our faith in these so-called professionals and these space agencies, NASA in particular.
Is the Earth flat? No. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. What? I answered the question. Oh, you want me to give some reasons? Oh, okay, that's fine. I can do that.
National Space Station, that's a complete fraud. It's a complete hoax. I don't believe that all these astronauts are living up there and doing all this.
No, I'm not a flat earther. I'm not a flat earther. I believe the Earth is a sphere. I looked at all the arguments. I watched all the debates, and I don't think there's anything here.
The globe religion's about to fall. We're gonna open your eyes so you can see who you're gonna call if you wanna be free. Globebusters!
G'day everybody, Where's Wally here. Hey, on Thursday, the 15th of June at 6:26 PM, the ISS is going to pass over Brisbane, and I want to capture that moment.